The 2020 U.S. presidential election sent shockwaves through the nation, reverberating through every corner of the country. It left in its wake a deeply divided populace, with emotions running high and tensions palpable in the air. Questions arose, doubts lingered, and accusations flew from all sides, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and mistrust. Stay informed and subscribe. The very foundation of American democracy, the sanctity of the ballot box, was called into question, shaking the core of the electoral process. For many, the outcome was difficult to accept, leading to widespread discontent and a sense of betrayal. The political climate had reached a fever pitch, with emotions boiling over and public discourse becoming increasingly polarized. Trust in institutions was eroding rapidly, as scandals and controversies dominated the headlines. Amidst this turmoil, a small group of citizens, fueled by a belief that something was amiss, decided to take a stand, driven by a sense of duty and justice. They were determined to seek truth and accountability, no matter the cost, willing to face any obstacle in their path. Their legal battles, though seemingly insignificant against the backdrop of a powerful government, would ignite a firestorm of controversy, drawing national attention. These individuals, propelled by unwavering conviction, would soon capture the attention of a nation hungry for answers, becoming symbols of resilience and determination. The fight for election integrity was just beginning. This is their story, a tale of courage, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of truth. At the heart of this unfolding drama were three brothers from Utah: Loy, Raland, and Deron Brunson. Bound by family and a shared sense of patriotism, they embarked on a legal crusade that would pit them against some of the most powerful figures in government. Their claim? That the 2020 election was marred by widespread irregularities, and that those in power, sworn to uphold the Constitution, had failed to investigate these allegations. They pointed to alleged instances of voter fraud, irregularities in vote counting, and foreign interference. Armed with unwavering conviction, the Brunson brothers were prepared to fight for what they believed in. They would become symbols of a growing movement, a movement fueled by distrust and a yearning for transparency. Their quest for justice was about to begin. Loy Brunson, a businessman with no formal legal training, emerged as the public face of the family's legal battle. He spearheaded a bold and unprecedented legal challenge, taking aim at the highest court in the land, the United States Supreme Court. Loy Brunson's petition to the Supreme Court was nothing short of audacious. He named 388 federal officials as respondents in his lawsuit. This included members of Congress from both sides of the aisle: President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and even former Vice President Mike Pence. His central argument was simple yet profound. These officials, by failing to investigate claims of election fraud, had violated their oaths to uphold the Constitution. It was a long shot, a David versus Goliath battle that few legal experts believed had any chance of success. While Loy Brunson's case garnered national attention, his brother Raland pursued a parallel legal strategy, one that was equally audacious and perhaps even more provocative. Raland Brunson's lawsuit targeted not just the institution of the Supreme Court, but the justices themselves. He filed suit against three justices: Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. His claim? That by refusing to hear his initial lawsuit, which echoed many of the concerns raised by his brother Loy, these justices were effectively aiding and abetting enemies of the United States government. Raland's lawsuit was a bold escalation in the Brunson brothers' legal battle. It was a direct challenge to the authority and impartiality of the judicial branch. It was a move that would further divide public opinion and raise questions about the limits of free speech and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. The case quickly became a media sensation, with headlines capturing the audacity of Raland's claims. Legal experts were divided, some calling it a necessary check on judicial power, while others saw it as a dangerous precedent that could undermine the judiciary. Public opinion was equally split, with social media buzzing with debates and discussions. The Brunson brothers had not only taken their fight to the highest court in the land, but they had also ignited a national conversation about the role and limits of the judiciary in American democracy. Section 5. A Call to Action: The Brunsons' Public Engagement. The Brunson brothers understood that their legal battle was about more than just their individual cases. It was about galvanizing public support, about awakening a sleeping giant, the American people. They embarked on a nationwide campaign to raise awareness about their cause, urging citizens to join their fight for election integrity. Their message resonated with millions of Americans who shared their concerns about the 2020 election. The Brunsons encouraged supporters to write letters to the Supreme Court, expressing their support for the brothers' cases and demanding accountability from elected officials. This grassroots movement, fueled by social media and word of mouth, sought to flood the Supreme Court with correspondence. It was an attempt to demonstrate the widespread public concern over the allegations of election fraud. Section 6. Pam Bondi, a stalwart defender in the face of controversy. As the Brunson brothers fought their legal battles, another key figure emerged in the saga of the 2020 election controversy. Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida and a staunch ally of former President Donald Trump. Bondi had earned a reputation as a fearless and outspoken conservative voice. She was a vocal supporter of Trump's claims regarding the 2020 election. In the aftermath of the election, Bondi publicly asserted that there was evidence of widespread cheating and fraud, particularly in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. These claims, while echoing the concerns of many Trump supporters, were met with skepticism and outright denial from Democrats and some election security experts. Section 7. A Nation Divided. Bondi's nomination sparks outrage and uncertainty. In November 2024, President-elect Trump nominated Pam Bondi to serve as the United States Attorney General, one of the most powerful legal positions in the country. This decision was seen as a bold and controversial move, given Bondi's close ties to Trump and her previous role as Florida's Attorney General. The nomination sent shockwaves through the legal and political establishment. Newsrooms buzzed with heated debates, and political commentators were quick to weigh in on the implications of this choice. It was a move that would have profound implications for the future of the Justice Department and the ongoing debate over the 2020 election. Many wondered how Bondi's leadership would shape the department's priorities and policies. Bondi's nomination was met with a mixture of praise and outrage. The nation seemed to be split down the middle, with passionate arguments on both sides. Supporters hailed her as a fearless champion of conservative values and a staunch defender of the rule of law. They believed her appointment would bring much-needed change and stability. They argued that she would restore integrity to the Justice Department, which they believed had been politicized under previous administrations. Her supporters were vocal and determined, rallying behind her with fervor. Critics, however, were quick to condemn the nomination, questioning Bondi's impartiality and her ability to fairly and effectively lead the Justice Department. They feared her close association with Trump would compromise her objectivity. They pointed to her past support for Trump's unsubstantiated claims of election fraud as evidence of her bias. This, they argued, could undermine public trust in the Justice Department and its commitment to impartial justice. As the nation watched closely, the debate over Bondi's nomination highlighted the deep divisions within the country. The coming weeks would be crucial in determining whether she would be confirmed and how her leadership might impact the future of American justice. Section 8. The battle continues. Where do we go from here? As of November 24, 2024, the legal challenges surrounding the 2020 election remain unresolved. The Supreme Court has denied both Loy and Arlan Brunson's petitions, delivering a significant blow to their efforts to seek redress through the courts. Despite these setbacks, the Brunson brothers have vowed to continue their fight. They remain steadfast in their belief that the 2020 election was compromised. They view their legal battles as part of a larger struggle to protect the integrity of American democracy. Pam Bondi's potential role as Attorney General adds another layer of complexity to this already convoluted saga. Her nomination, if confirmed by the Senate, would likely embolden those who believed that the 2020 election was stolen. It could also further inflame partisan tensions and deepen the divisions within American society. Section 9. Seeking Truth, Navigating the Sea of Information. The 2020 election and its aftermath have exposed deep fissures within American society. The battle over election integrity is far from over. It continues to rage in courtrooms, in the halls of Congress, and in the hearts and minds of the American people. In this age of information overload and rampant misinformation, it is more important than ever to be discerning consumers of news and information. We must be wary of partisan spin and seek out reliable sources that adhere to journalistic standards of accuracy and impartiality. The quest for truth and justice requires vigilance, critical thinking, and a willingness to engage in respectful dialogue even with those with whom we disagree. The future of American democracy may very well depend on it. Stay on top of the facts and subscribe.